General quarters, all hands man your battle stations.
Broadcasting live inside a deep underground bunker on the UnitedWest.org AM radio network and simulcasting on DirecTV, iHeartRadio, Roku, and the World Wide Web. This is Enemies of the State with Tom Trinton.
Beer! Thunderstruck! Thunderstruck!
Yeah, you gotta like those. You gotta like the Marines. They are rocking and rolling, and
they're actually rocking and rolling to this.
We are going to be rocking and rolling all this week. An amazing week for you, ladies and gentlemen. On the 23rd of February, 2014, we've entitled "The Complete Week Defending Liberty," and you saw those gyrenes in the beginning, and all those guys running this hardware around on the kinetic side of defending liberty. Well, we're going to be defending liberty this week, in particular next week too, in Washington, D.C., in an ideological stand at the center of the universe for the United States of America. In Washington, D.C., in front of the United States Capitol, standing for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as he makes an extremely globally controversial visit. Next Tuesday, March 3rd, we will be there. And in order to tell America what's going on and why it's important, we have dedicated our show to two radio markets, internet, Breitbart, all of that, all of our extent to explaining the critical importance of this. And we have with us, we're planning that with us every day this week, one of the key organizers of an event that is going to be standing for Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu. Our special guest will be here shortly, but what a weekend, man. It's been a busy, busy weekend. Also
Tom, were you fortunate enough to watch the Oscars last night?
Imam Abdullah, good morning. You're here very early. I mean, good afternoon. You're here early on.
Yes, no masjid today. Straight to work for me.
Yes, what can I do to, how can I help you?
I want to congratulate you on your victory last night at the Oscars.
Well, you won something at the Oscars, Tom?
Yes, it was very late in the show, one of the last awards to be given.
The show had just sort of ended, and then I think it's, what was the host's name? David something?
Harris something. He is of the limp-wristed persuasion. He would not survive very well in the Muslim countries.
Yes, I know.
He would be thrown from the top of a roof or stoned to death in the streets.
Yes, but in America, we don't do that to our folks who have a different persuasion. But it was very, very late on the Oscars yesterday, and they had the final category, the best Islamophobe.
Yes, Tom, you won Islamophobe of the Year.
I won the award.
Congratulations, my friend.
I have my Barack, they call it, instead of an Oscar. It's called a Barack.
You got a Barack?
I have my Barack right here.
Wow.
It is actually known as the anti-Barack.
The anti-Barack, yes, I got that. So that was pretty good. I appreciate, I gave a little speech. I thank the Academy, and I thank all the clear-thinking leftists.
Well, it must have been after the hours, because I didn't see it on the TV.
It was very late in the show.
They went to commercial where they had to go to the other
shows? No, they played it. And I thanked all the Academy and the leftists in Hollywood for their clear thinking and their non-hypocritical view of life. I just said, you guys are really, really there. And special thanks to Michael Moore. But let's see what else. Oh, also on the show, we have a kick-ass video of the mayor of Jerusalem, where we're going to be in about a month. We'll be in Jerusalem on our tour. We got a video of the mayor taking down a terrorist. Wait until you see this a little later in the show. Then Sissy is no sissy. We're going to bring you that little bit with Area Gozi. He's going to give us an update on not only the mayor, who helped take down a terrorist yesterday who tried to stab an Israeli, but General Sissy is no sissy. He's now trying to organize the whole Arab world, pan-Arab army to go fight the Islamic State. Oh, I'm going to buy tickets to that whole thing.
There's something wrong with that man.
Yes, I understand. And then also on this show, we got so much going on today. We have, boom, Al-Shabaab wants to visit Minneapolis. Well, that's kind of stupid. They're in Minneapolis. They want to go to the Mall of America and make it go boom. We're going to bring you that story a little later.
Yes.
And then Grover grabs a walker. How about that?
That is so depressing,
pretty
Tom.
cute.
You told me, I didn't hear about it over the weekend, but you told me, and I'm just like, you're kidding me. You got to be kidding
Grover
me.
Norquist, an ideological enemy of the state, a conservative Republican anti-tax guy, all good stuff there, who is pro-Muslim Brotherhood, enabler, more than that. We've done a 10-part series on him, but he has run and grabbed a walker. In particular, Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin. He is now stuck his tentacles in Scott Walker, who's a pretty good guy.
Takbir! Takbir!
And
See, this is why, as a Muslim, as a member of the Ummah, it is so good to be bipartisan. We are obviously the Democrat Party is a
Equal
natural
opportunity,
ally, and we have our Grover on the right to help us no matter who in the office. It is
Unbelievable.
fantastic to be a Muslim in America today.
And for those of you who aren't aware who Grover Norquist is, he is a Republican, probably the most powerful Republican in the Republican Party, who's completely Muslim Brotherhooded up. We've done many exposés on him. And it's just a and he's a Washington lobbyist, in essence, what he is, and he'll do anything for money, and he's Muslim brother up bad.
Yeah, very, very bad. And what he's done is he has grabbed Scott Walker, who apparently is one of the Republicans in the lead for the nominee. And how many days we got, gentlemen? We have
624, is it?
625. 625 days until November 8th, 2016. Second Tuesday in November. 625 days from today, somebody is going to be elected the President of the United States of America. Following the Baraki here.
Unless there's martial law instituted in the country by then and we can't have elections, and he just needs to stick around a little bit longer.
People have been raising that issue for a long time, and I try to explain to them, yeah, you're out of your mind. But they're not as out of their mind as I thought they were, the way the direction of this country is going in the hands of Mr. Obama. At 14 minutes after 4 o'clock on the East Coast, if you live anywhere on the East Coast and you live north of where we live in Florida, you're freezing your little heinies off, and that's your problem. Don't come and visit down here because we can't get in restaurants right now. You got to wait an hour because the New Yorkers and the cheap tipping Canadians are in line in front of us.
Yes,
How many Quebec plates can you see in one parking lot?
I don't know.
Trying to get over
So
a bridge
stay
here.
up there. Any of you that live in Maine or Rhode Island or on those
Hey, careful with the Rhode Island
we don't know
comments,
where-
man.
We don't know where anybody lives. We don't know where anybody lives. Everything's anonymous on this show.
You're risking it. You're risking it with the Rhode
everything's
Island
anonymous.
comments.
Yeah, we
So-
probably got a guest that's probably doing that.
No, but we don't tell where people live on this show. So, or where they may wander or anything like that. We know nothing. But what we do know is that Grover has stuck his tentacles into a walker, Scott Walker. That's a little later. But when you come to defending liberty, ladies and gentlemen, it's always good to have a wall of separation between the bad guys and the good guys. And our next guest, someone who is a defender of liberty, literally, a defender of liberty, figuratively, and a wall, literally, and a wall, figuratively, is with us. And we met him back in September 11th, 9/11 in Washington, D.C., when we were involved in helping organize the 2 million bikers to D.C., and I was fortunate to be one of the speakers there. We're also helping organize right now the effort by the organization Defenders of Liberty Motorcycle Club. They are the lead group organizing the rally for Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. Israel's our #1 national security partner. Please give a United West warm welcome to, and he goes by one name, like Cher or Madonna.
Yeah, he's like
all of
Cher.
this.
He's like Cher.
He goes, he's like Cher. Here he is, folks. Here's a member of Defenders of Liberty Motorcycle Club, Wall.
Yeah.
How you doing?
What's up, Wall?
How you doing, Tom? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. We met in not far from where we are going to be next Tuesday. You planning on being there or what?
Absolutely. Can't miss it. I'll be there. You won't miss me.
Not at all. It's your gig. You guys have spearheaded this. We have jumped on board to help you with it however we can. And it's a brotherhood with a lot of ladies in there too, but a brotherhood of Defenders of Liberty. Let's take a couple of moments. Here's what we're doing this week, folks. Wall is going to serve as one of the key spokespersons for Defenders of Liberty Motorcycle Club and for their event in Washington, D.C. So we're going to have him on every day this week to get updates. We want everybody capable to get to D.C. next Tuesday, March 3rd, 9 o'clock at the Capitol. But Wall, let's tell the folks a little bit about yourself that you want to share on the air. We're on the radio live all over South Florida and Tampa and the internet all over the world. So be careful what you say, but tell us a little bit about yourself and why you got involved in all this crazy stuff.
Well, it's not really about myself. It's about the club. The group of guys I ride with, we are all patriots, retired veterans, active military, and we are here because we are kind of, sick and tired of the way this stuff's going. As a taxpayer, I'm reading things about giving away billions of dollars to Iran over this nuclear arms deal going on to try to help them to achieve nuclearism. But the problem is, what are they going to really do with it? We have had a bad history with them since 1979. Israel, who has been our ally, our buddies, are right in the middle of that. What are they going to do when they become nuclear? Are they going to wipe our ally off? We can't have that. We need to stand up. We need to come together as Americans, and we need to put our foot down once and for all. I mean, $11.8 billion when I'm reading about veterans freezing to death in their houses on the streets, and we're sending our hard-earned money overseas. Are you kidding me? There's something wrong here. We need to get together. We need to be in D.C. We need to get our voices heard. I do want to be clear about one thing. This is a rally. This is not a protest. We are not there to put negative stereotypes. This isn't religious. This is nothing. This is an American done with this BS. It is time to stop giving away the house. Our house is falling down around us. People we are responsible for are dying, and that is not right. That is not what my grandfather, my great-grandfather, all the way down to the beginning of this country and 300 years ago were here for. That is wrong. We need to stop it. We need to get everybody aboard. You need to come look it up on the Facebook page. There it is. You need to find us online. We are doing another rally in another 45 days. We're not letting up until this is done.
Whoa! All right, Wall. Yeah. All right, now let's take this apart a little bit at a time. You sound like a national security analyst, not some guy jumping on a scooter, zipping around and hanging out with your buddies. What do you ride, by the way? What kind of bike do you ride?
Does it really matter? Look at me.
Yeah,
what do you think I ride?
Harley, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. How about a Ducati?
That's right there.
All right. Well,
hey, I have nothing against Italian-made.
Okay. Truth be told, I have a little scooter. Damon has a Harley, right?
Yes, sir.
You got an older one, right? What do you have?
It's a 97. It's not that old.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's a Harley.
I've had it since it was new.
That just means it's your best friend.
That's right.
I got you guys beat. I've had my little bike. I bought a bike.
Don't laugh, Wall.
No. I bought a bike. I had to make a decision to buy a bike years ago, 1973, believe it or not. because the 73. And, you know, I could have bought a Harley, but every Harley was on the side of the road, oil pouring out of the oil pans, and you know, all the big guys were there, and I'm just flying by them in those days. Harley had a tough time, so I picked up a Kawasaki, man, a rice-burning triple, 500 triple. It's called a Widowmaker. Lightning bike. I'm actually restoring it right now, but I don't know if it's going to be ready for a March ride to D.C. Are you guys, you're not coming on your bikes, are you? Or what's the deal?
Well, where I'm coming from and the other brothers that live in my neck of the woods, we are going to be doing a busing down. Yeah. We're busing it in. But I do have a lot of the brothers that live in the area of D.C., they are riding in. I don't think you could stop them if you wanted to.
Beautiful.
But yeah,
beautiful.
no, we'll have a little bit of both. Definitely a little bit of both.
All right, now you are engaged in this. You passionately explain that our country is at a very serious point where even nitwits are starting to realize something's wrong here, man. This isn't the America we grew up and honored. And you know, we go on the street and ask people questions, and other organizations do that, and you ask people, you know, who, how many senators are there? They don't even know what a senator is. I mean, there's no real knowledge of the elements that built this country. It's very difficult to hold something united when you don't know why you're united. How is that going to change? How do we get dumb people to respect and love America? What do you got to do to make that happen?
Well, the sad thing is just like what brought the country together last was 9/11, and it takes a traumatic incident to get the patriotism back up in the country. Unfortunately, you know the analogy of a little slice at a time, little slice at a time, little slice at a time. Well, we've been going through that for probably the last 6-7 years, and it's getting to a point where you just don't know what the next trigger is going to be. I'm a little surprised, happily pleased of the way this is taking off. We're being notified and contacted from news agencies in Israel. We've had people from Canada. We've had a lot of international recognition coming back. Sad thing is, you would think it would be the American taxpayer coming out and going, hey, we need to stop this. This cannot continue to be done. I very rarely will talk about myself ever, but I'm going to say this. I have 2 sons. Both of them are Eagle Scouts. I put them both through that as kids because of one reason. They teach you about your community. They teach you about the world. They make you read the Constitution. Each one of them has a little Constitution book, and that is why I am so passionate about this, because what are my kids getting? I mean, really, what are we giving our children?
A big tax bill.
That's right. You get a big tax
bill. And that tax bill is going to be answered by my great-grandchildren by the size of it. I mean, if anybody ever sat and thought about, we are trillions of dollars in debt, we could award every single American $2 million to start their lives with out of that debt. What is wrong with this?
It's bizarre. And there's a controversial wave going through the mainstream media right now regarding Rudy Giuliani, when he, in a private meeting, made some comments about the president, which, if you listen to our show, we say this all day long. This president does not love America. Well, I mean, Giuliani says it. Does it change the fact that the guy doesn't love America? He does not love America. And if you want to qualify that in any way, he told us he was going to transform and change America. Why would you transform and change something to the magnitude that he intended if you love your country? Because he thinks it's gone in the wrong way, because he's a neo-Marxist socialist. So he's trying to create a new America that repudiates the principles of the Boy Scouts of America. Those are not principles that this president would affirm in his heart. He would say it for political gain, but he affirms Saul Alinsky's principles more than the Boy Scouts of America's principles. It's pretty simple. And just the fact that that issue, does President Obama love America? Just the fact that that issue is an issue before us today indicates there's sufficient people out there that have sufficient justification to conclude he does not love America. Now, how do we straighten this out? Here's how we straighten it out, ladies and gentlemen. You do what Wall is doing, you do what we are doing, you take a stand. And on March 3rd at 9 o'clock, where's it going to be, Wall? I heard it's going to be Lafayette Square, the Capitol.
Nope.
Where is it now?
Right out north side of the White House is where we're doing it. Right in the street.
The White House or the Capitol?
The White House. It has been changed. We've been trying to get our permits straightened out, but they seem to be having some delay. So at this point, it looks like it's going to be at the White House. I have our brother down in D.C. right now. He is supposed to be finding out the exact what's going on. We've applied for 2 permits for this to happen in. So we're figuring it's going to be right across the street from the White House, Pennsylvania Ave. Okay, is where it's going to be.
All right, folks. We
will put all that out there for everybody to see immediately once we have it completely.
And follow it on the Facebook page. We have it up there on screen for you.
Yeah, what's the name of the Facebook page?
Support Israel's Prime Minister's visit to address Congress.
Okay, you need a longer name than that.
Yeah, no.
Or you could just go to this one right here, and I'm sure there's links from that one, right?
Defenders of Liberty.
I believe I actually am not doing the I don't do the web stuff. However, I do believe there are stuff on our webpage.
You look like a web guy.
You look like a web guy, man. You look like you tweet all the time, man.
Hey, here's how it works,
not
folks.
handicapped from it. Hey, Tom, just to actually bring something you set up, I wanted to revisit. You talk about Obama saying transforming America. Look, you can do plastic surgery, but we all bleed red, white, and blue, period. And you cannot change that.
That guy bleeds green and red.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Well, you know, it's funny to say I'm good with whatever he wants to bleed. Right now, I'm looking for other guys that bleed the same color as me because that's what we want. We need to get our voices heard.
And folks, here's how this works.
Hey, the brothers.
All right, there they are. Here's how this works, folks. When you plan an event in Washington, D.C., Washington, D.C. now is one of the most protected pieces of dirt on the planet. There's about 35 federal agencies all involved in trying to keep that town safe. There's vast armies of undercover people all over the place. But we have a constitutional right to assemble, to protest, and we certainly have a constitutional right to assemble, to rally, to proclaim something positive. So we will be there. We will be in Washington, D.C., and there's been some going back and forth, whether it was at the U.S. Capitol, down the street from the White House, or whether
it shouldn't affect anyone's plane tickets or bus tickets. Get your ass to D.C.
Yeah, get there.
We'll make sure everybody knows. We'll make sure we get that out there. We've got people literally going to the offices like they went 3 times last week. They'll be back. They have receipt of it. They are pending, and we're harassing the heck out of them to make sure we
Well, here's
get
the problem, too. We had the last time we did an event up there. We got nothing with the Million Bikers to D.C. one last time, and they shucked and jived us around the whole time. Can't do this, can't park here.
Oh, with the parking on the mall.
Oh, it was horrible.
Brother, I was sitting right there.
He was there. I remember him, yeah.
I was there for the 9/11/13 one when it was an ocean of bikers.
Yeah.
I mean, they said 880,000 to 1.3 million showed up. I can tell you this: that first ride down to D.C., probably one of the most biggest reasons I do what I do. Actually, I guess the way we were leading probably about 2 miles worth of bikes down from where we're out of. I was in the front of the ride as a ride captain with another gentleman who I also do PGR, if you're not familiar with that, Patriot Guard Riders. But with another guy that I do share PGR heritage with, and we're leading the guys down, and I'm looking off to the left, and I see a car in the high-speed lane coming along very slowly. And usually when you have a big pack of bikes, whoever's in the front and the back, you're guarding your guys, you're watching. So as this car has been coming along for 10 or 15 minutes, finally gets up alongside of me, I realize it's a family, 3 people, mom and dad and a little boy, and the little boy sitting in the back, and he is just dumbfounded at all these bikers, and there's a lot of us. As he gets up to the front, like by the name, I'm not a little guy, but he comes up alongside, and like we've got guys with the masks on, with the the evil face look going on, typical biker in their best garb, and he looked over at me, and I'm dressed just like this, and I couldn't help but give him the good old smile. The kid lit up. Next thing I know, they're pulling in front of us, and they're waving at us. The kid just kept, every 20 miles or less as we're going through Jersey, sticking his head up and waving at us again. And, that's why we're doing this. It's for that little kid. It's, if we don't, who's gonna?
Exactly.
I mean, it's as simple as that. We've been waiting for our politicians to step up to the plate. It always seems to be what we speak for, what we want, gets taken away, put on the back burner, and it's about whatever these interest groups want. It's about, somebody offended somebody. I'm not a PC guy. I mean, but I do believe in respecting other Americans to protest to their rights, to their freedoms, but I'm not going to have mine trampled on just to make somebody else happy. That's stupid. And that's where we've gotten in. Like I said again, Tom, thank you so much for having us on and helping us with this. I mean, I know we're all in the same boat and all, but it does mean a lot using your resources to help with this agenda.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to key point. You hit many key points, and the emotional component of seeing a young kid who was so influenced and awe-inspired by that army, that group of bikes there, that whole transport, that changed that kid's life. He'll remember that forever. And he saw the flags waving. So, and the point you made,
nothing more patriotic than a good bike rally.
The point you made about the politicians waiting to, we're waiting for them to step up. Part of the problem is they're all politicians. They're not statesmen. There's very few. Alan West, who's a dear friend of ours and our former congressman, that's the area we live in. He's no longer a congressman, but he was a statesman. He lived by the Constitution. He called it what it is. He couldn't care less about being politically correct. They're rare birds right now in Congress. So what do? You hit the streets, and you hit the streets of the most significant town in America, and we'll have our cameras there. We may live stream from there. We'll tell the story. And I guarantee you, Wall and defenders of liberty, the reporting of this by us and others will inspire so many people to do the right thing. And we have launched a program called the Israel Security Project, which culminates in 625 days with the election of people that are pro-American, pro-West, pro-Israel. That's what we're working on. We repudiate violence and all of that. You fight with your brains, you fight with your smarts, you fight with a better system of truth.
We fight with our swords.
Yeah, that's Imam Abdul over there. So that's what we got to do. We got to start an ideological revolution or continue it. The Tea Party got things going. I think the bikers can play a significant role in transforming properly the America that Barack is building into the America that Washington, D.C. is supposed to be. So I believe
it's amazing if you go back to half a century where the politicians were the good guys and the bikers were the bad guys.
That's funny.
Fast forward half a century and the politicians are the bad guys and the bikers are the good guys.
Well, I just had another thought while you guys were talking was the Tea Party started out really good, but now it's becoming corrupted by a lot of different organizations. I think the bikers have started to pick up that mantle of the Tea Party, ideology and patriotism, not being corrupted by outside influences and stuff like that. I mean, there's still a few great Tea Parties out there, but in general, I see the bikers taking up that, that banner and picking it up and running with it now. And that's just my what do you think about that, Wall? Do you see that more happening?
Well, it's absolutely. And I would say that probably the most giving, charitable people in this country are bikers. We pay to go on rides to give money to our veterans. We pay to go on rides to give money donated to different charity causes for cancer, heart disease. It's the nature and the name of the game with bikers. We're not about ourselves. You sit there and you go, you know what? I'm blessed because I get to ride my motorcycle every night when I get home from work. Every weekend, I have to thank every single veteran I run into because of this. I actually live close to a military place, and I make a point every time I see somebody in their uniform, I thank them. I mean, I think sometimes it scares them when a big guy like me comes walking up with a motorcycle vest and all, and hey, man, thanks a lot for your service. But you know what? It's a message. If you're not doing that, then you're not doing what you should be doing. And you will find that the truest American patriot is a biker. Right. We put it out there, we live it, and we do it. You know, and that's we're not looking for, and like I said in the beginning, I'm not looking for who I am, what I'm doing, anything more than, look, I bleed red, white, and blue. My country is getting trampled on. We're giving it all away. We've got people crossing our border illegally, and we're giving them gifts. I'm at a loss.
I know. Hey, here's what we're going to do, Wall. We are going to have you back tomorrow for an update. We want to stay on top of this rally next week for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who will address Congress. Many of the Democrats are boycotting and leaving. Friends of mine are organizing an effort to fill those empty seats with Holocaust survivors, with veterans, with a whole group of people. But I want to leave you to show you how far you guys have come with this bit of Americana.
Send him on a good outtake there. There you go,
You got
Tom.
the picture? Where's the...
Huh? I just got the bumper for it.
I wanted the video. I wanted the bike. All right, Wall, we'll let you go on that, man. We'll catch you tomorrow, okay?
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.
All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow, Wall.
See ya.
You wanted the whole video or something?
I wanted the Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper.
Okay, we need more than 10 seconds notice on that. That's how things work, tough guy.
What am I going to do with these guys? What am I going to do with these guys?
Unbelievable.
He's sitting there like...
Unbelievable. Give me Easy Riders. Play Easy Riders.
Okay, I did. Okay, I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Wall's something else, huh? Let me tell you, man.
No, he's a real deal.
He's a real deal. He's a big guy, very, very big guy. I think like a 64, 65-inch chest. You know, he's a big. He handles security, all of that.
That's shocking.
That's shocking. I would never guess that, Tom.
But he's very eloquent. He understands the issues.
Intelligent man.
His kids are, Eagle Scouts. I mean, it's the new hardcore Harley rider. It's great. And, I believe so. I think because of, we should trace this at some point. The magic and the mystique of a motorcycle. And for those of you who ride or have ever ridden, and I've been riding for a lot of years, Damon for a lot of years, there's something...
busting my skull riding, too.
There's something very unique about the freedom on a bike. And you could have ridden for 100 years, particularly in Florida on on A1A, just cruising along on a beautiful day. You go, this is so nice. This is so.
If I didn't have a terrorist event to go to Saturday night and a bunch of editing, I would have loved to have taken advantage of it this weekend. But I didn't get to ride this weekend.
It's freedom. There's a real freedom there, different than enclosed in an automobile. And it's that sort of freedom that has some sort of relationship to the freedoms that people enjoy in America. Well, I don't have my finger on all of this at this point.
Well, there's also another big thing is a lot of the motorcycle clubs around the country are highly populated with U.S. military veterans.
I was working into the fact that add to this freedom thing that a lot of vets who when you go into the service, you become mechanical. You learn how to take things apart, put things back together, drive stuff. So it's pretty natural to say, and it's an exciting life in the service, particularly if you're in combat. So it's not a big step to go on a motorcycle. Now with the Patriot Guard movement, all of that, I think historians will look back at the first decade of the 21st century and maybe call it the biker decade. There's going to be a biker subcomponent where bikers became very patriotic and they took a leadership, a grassroots leadership in moving America back to a constitutional position.
And you saw Alan West all the way back in '08 even utilize the patriotic biker community for his campaigning. And they were significant in his win in 2010, and they were there for him in 2012. It's not his fault the district got gerrymandered and cluster effed on him. But, you know, the biker community had a lot to do with Alan West winning in 2010.
And there is something, all the years that I've played around with motorcycles and seen them, there's a mystique when you see in your rear view mirror, 50, 100 bikes come by. I was driving up here over the weekend, and there was about 10, 12, and they were the doctors and lawyers with their wives on the bikes, you know, with their leather was like polished, immaculate, clean leather. But it just looked cool. They're riding there in the left lane. And
also with the bikers, too, is versus like the Tea Party community. And I'm not trying to bash the Tea Party community. What I'm saying is
I hate them both.
I'm saying you know, it's that there's like a more pureness about the bikers than there is right now with most Tea Party groups. I'm not saying all. I'm saying most.
Yeah.
But also with the bikers, you know, you can get 100,000 bikers to show up at a drop of a hat because they'll jump on a bike and drive anywhere. Now, Tea Party groups and stuff like that are tough to get rallied around and organized to get to events and stuff like that. But the great thing about the bikers are, yeah, let's go. Excuse me.
Because the journey is part of the fun.
So we want you, folks. We want you March 3rd in Washington, D.C. Don't worry. It's going to be either the White House or the United States Capitol. They're 10 minutes apart. We will tell you exactly where. Why? Why are we calling for this rally? We are co-sponsors with Defenders of Liberty, the United West are, and we're handling some of the media. This is important because why is Netanyahu here? Is he he wants to come to a freezing climate to go on vacation? No, he's here to address the United States Congress, which is trying to figure out its position regarding the negotiations between the administration and the Iranians.
Oh, no, he's trying to use it to get reelected.
For the nuke issue. So that's why he's here, and that is a critical issue that has to take place. Now, leftists in Israel, a small percentage of the voting population. Leftists in America, huge percentage of the voting population have turned against Netanyahu to the point where he's being boycotted. Elected officials are not going to show up, and friends of mine are talking about putting people in those empty seats. So that's what's going on. That's why we want you to be there next week. Whatever you got to do, come to Washington, D.C. Contact me for more details, Tom, at theunitedwest.org. Woo, we're going to go to the land that Netanyahu is from. As soon as somebody tells me it's good, we're good. We are good. We have the United West satellite flying high above the stratosphere, and did it get Agozi?
Yes, it did.
Yes, I'm here.
Where's There's Agozi. Hey, welcome back, Agozi. How are you?
Thank you very much.
Good, good. You've been on a little vacation, right?
Yes, I did a little vacation in Europe, and it gave me a chance to see how deaf and blind the Europeans are, busy with good steaks, good wine, not knowing what's going in the backyard, terrorists coming from Libya to Italy and flowing into Europe. But that's another story. Let's talk about Israel.
But the European one, we want to hear another day. We want to hear about your European vacation, because we spent a lot of time in Europe dealing with these issues. You got a couple of things happening. We just had Wall on, who's the spokesperson for a significant motorcycle club here in America, Defenders of Liberty. And, you would think that some Jewish organization or some evangelical Christian organization would organize a rally for Benjamin Netanyahu. No. How about a bunch of motorcycle jockeys, a bunch of old veterans and tough guys? It really is boggling my mind why these guys are doing it. But he answered part of it. A lot of them are veterans. They organized a rally. Right now, thousands of people are coming to stand with Benjamin Netanyahu in Washington next Tuesday, March 3rd.
Yeah, I know.
What's going on in Israel with the election? Because we're hearing all kinds of strange stuff. Area Gozi.
Yeah, the elections have brought Israel to a point where you can call it only craziness. Accusation flying from party to party. Investigations, accusations, but I think that on one hand it makes you think that it's too much, but on the other hand, this is democracy. Everyone can speak his mind. Everyone can say what he wants, and when the day comes on March 17, we will go to the elections and select the man or the party which we think that can lead Israel in the coming years. So for the time being, we have, I think, a chaos. Every TV show, every radio show, every newspaper is filled with accusations, parties about the economy, about the defense. Most of these are stupid things, stupid accusations, unbased accusations, but that is part of election campaigns in a democratic country where you can say whatever you want. The Supreme Court last week ruled that Hanin Zouabi, the Arab member of Knesset, can be nominated for re-elections in spite of the fact that she was in the Marmara on the Turkish ship and she cursed the Israeli soldiers and policemen. In democracy, you have good things and bad things, but you have to accept the rules. You have to accept what the Supreme Court says. It's still better than any other system of government in the world.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I disagree with that.
It was Churchill who said a long time ago, democracy is a horrible system, but better than anything else out there, which makes sense.
Absolutely.
Hey, Saddam Hussein used to get elected, and he had a democratic system. He got 100% of the vote, just like Fidel Castro. Those guys get 100% of the vote. It's amazing how that works in those countries.
And now a quiz for you. A quiz. Okay? Can I ask you?
Yes.
Just imagine a situation where your enemy sends a group of terrorists to kill your people. At the same time, you supply the enemy with electricity. And when the enemy doesn't pay for the electricity and has built a debt of 2 billion Israeli shekels, they are going to the UN to complain. Can you see such a scenario?
Yes, it sounds like Israel.
It's called the United States government with the Barack Obama administration. We got something very similar.
The Palestinian Authority has a debt of 2 billion Israeli shekel to the Israeli electrical company. They don't pay. 11 terrorists from Hebron, from the area, were arrested a month ago by the Israeli Security Service for planning terror attacks in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem. Israel is supplying, and today the electrical company cut the supply by 50%, and now they have announced that they are going to the UN to complain. Now, this is crazy. This is
very interesting.
Unbelievable.
And also, the interesting thing was just recently, I think, they tried to blow up the electric company on the Israeli side. Is that correct?
Right. So this is a crazy situation, and this is the reality.
Yeah, but Netanyahu is in charge. He's the prime minister. Why is he letting this stuff go on like this?
I don't know. Because we are Jews. We cannot cut the electricity to hospitals, to the few industry sites that they have. But they send terrorists, we supply them with electricity, and when they don't pay for the electricity, they complain to the Security Council. This is a situation which is, even crazy is an understatement for that. And now they want the Security Council to get involved. And another thing that I must say, yesterday, a 4 years child died after 4 years that she struggled to stay alive. She was with her mother in a car in Judea and Samaria in the West Bank that was attacked by stones by Palestinians. And she died yesterday after fighting for 2 years. She was only 4 years old when she died. And still the Palestinian Authority claimed that stones are not a weapon.
Well,
and so again, this is a crazy situation where the hands of the Israeli army and police are tied. They cannot shoot when the stones and rocks are being thrown on them. And this little baby died yesterday, 2 years after she was with the mother in a car. They were attacked by stones. Her mother lost control of the car and she hit a truck. And this little child died because of stones. And Israel still cannot defend themselves, the soldiers, the policemen, when stones and rocks are thrown at them. They cannot use their personal weapons. This again is crazy.
Crazy
now,
stuff.
Define stones. I mean, they're about the size of a billiard ball, if you will, when they start throwing those things. And you think about throwing an 8 ball at your head. Okay, that's you're going to get some serious damage at that. That's the whole. Well, anyway.
Well, also yesterday, Ari, in Jerusalem, another one of your outstanding Arab citizens, I don't know if he was a citizen or not, went on a rampage to stab Israelis, stab Jews, basically. And he did nick somebody, got somebody. Well, give us an update on the very brave behavior of, is it Barkat, Mayor Barkat?
Mayor Barkat, the mayor of Jerusalem. He drove. It was near the city hall in Jerusalem. He drove with his car with his bodyguard to the parking lot, and when they saw something on the sidewalk, and they spotted immediately a Palestinian with a knife stabbing a religious boy, and they went out of the car. Now we see the video. They ran. The bodyguard drew his pistol, and they subdued. And Barkat himself, with the bodyguard, before even the police arrived on the scene, they subdued the Palestinian and handcuffed him. Barkat was a paratrooper in the Israeli Defense Forces before he became an industrialist, a high-tech entrepreneur, and then the mayor of Jerusalem. And he acted exactly as every Israeli citizen would act in such a situation. You don't think, you just rush to the scene and try to defend people. And he did just that. And Netanyahu talked with him this morning and said that he did the right thing, of course. Now we see he's in the white shirt, and this young boy is in hospital, but in good conditions, because they rushed to the area and made him throw his knife. Without their intervention, he would probably stab some more people on the street. So that was a very quick, very fast reaction.
I want the viewers to see this video again, because I watched it several times and then it all came together. I'll explain what's going on, and it's really a heroic act. The stabber is on the left there with the circle, the red circle. You're going to see Mayor Barkat in a white shirt come on screen right in a couple of seconds. His bodyguard is with him. The bodyguard pulls out the gun, and the kid drops the knife or steps back. Now here comes the white shirt on the right. Watch him charge. Here's the paratrooper training. Watch a guy in a white shirt charge the other guy, knocks him down, throws him on the ground, subdues him. That's the mayor of Jerusalem, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is why everybody needs to go into the service in these days. Now he
Let's
runs
see Obama
over.
do that.
Now he runs over to the stabbed victim, and because the bodyguards have subdued the bad guys, and the man in the white shirt, the mayor, is now working on the young yeshiva student, the Jewish student, who was stabbed by the Arab Palestinian. So yeah. Mayor Barkat, good job, man.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
See Rahm Emanuel pull that one off, or God forbid, Big Red Bill in New York.
Yeah, Bill de Blasio. Yeah, he'd run the other way. Unbelievable.
So that was a very fast, very instinctive action, and it ended well for this guy, because otherwise I think his situation would be worse. I think he will be released from hospital tomorrow, so everything is fine now.
You don't know if he had a belt on. You don't know if he had another gun. You don't know if he had an accomplice with him. You know nothing. For him to run and intervene like that, that's a very, very brave man. So
Yes.
I hope he's voting with us, you know. I hope he's voting with us, man. All right, Ari, what else you got? Oh, one other thing before we let you go. We only got a couple of minutes left, but General Assisi is starting to call his Arab brothers to hold themselves accountable and have some sort of pan-Arabic army. Good idea, bad idea?
Yes. I think that Egypt and other Arab countries like Jordan are beginning a little bit late to understand that ISIS is their enemy also. And they understand after we talked in the previous show about the retaliation of the Jordanian Air Force after ISIS burned one of their pilots, and they understand that these people do not have any limit. They are cruel. They perform atrocities every day, and they understand that if they don't move now, this crazy terrorism will get to their cities. And I think that was expected. That was expected. There's another development from yesterday. The U.S. Air Force has taken one of the B-52 strategic bombers from storage in the desert and made it operational again. My assessment is, I cannot prove it, but my assessment is that they are going to use these old, from the 60s, old bombers in the fight against ISIS, because the aircraft that they use now, the F-18s, the F-16s, carry a very small amount of bombs, of ammunition. With such a bomber, you can carry something like 30, 40 tons of ammunition. And when ISIS is performing atrocities in Syria, in Iraq, every day, killing people, I think that even the United States understand that they should shift gear and go to the and act differently than they acted until now. And I think that the reason for investing in refurbishing this old aircraft that was in the desert for some 7 years is a plan to use these mighty aircraft, old but still mighty aircraft, in the fight against ISIS, which is going to pick up speed in the coming weeks and months.
Hey, just to give people a little knowledge on the B-52 real quick, is it is the oldest acting, still serving bomber in the U.S. military.
Yes.
In fact, it has been bombing over in ISIS. It's not an old airplane. It's a fantastic, great airplane, probably one of the best ever made. And it's,
I know
that it's operational still is fantastic, and that's a perfect use for it for bombing ISIS, because it carries so much ordnance, so much payload. It was built to carry a nuclear bomb.
Yep,
I know.
It could be devastating, that's for sure. All right, Ari Agozi, we're going to have to let you go. General Editor, Israel's Homeland Security Home.
I-HLS.com. Anyone who's interested in the military-industrial complex and all sorts of good stuff, you got to check it out. I-HLS.com.
We will get back to you. It's Monday. We normally see you on Wednesday, but we're going to get back to you somewhere toward the end of the week. We want to hear about your vacation in Europe and how the Europeans smoke their skinny cigars.
I thought they didn't let Jews in Europe anymore.
Drink that
Okay,
little
thank you very much,
coffee.
guys. We'll be in touch.
All
Bye-bye.
right, take it easy, Ari Agozi, our dear friend out there. I think we're down to the bewitching hour here,
Yes,
folks.
we are.
Hey, you got to at least mention the last story.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to carry over the Grover story because we're over time right now. And we're going to carry over the real little tiny words there. Al-Shabaab, the Mall of America. That's critically important. Both of those stories and Wall tomorrow. See ya.